Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Sean Diddy Combs, your legal team is scrambling. Listen, they're batting what? 0 for 3 right now. They promised him that the charges will be dropped. He was, in fact, in the MDC for 2 years. They promised him that he would be fully acquitted the first time around. Nah, he was sitting in MDC, in fact, for another year. They promised him that he would, for the Mann Act, he wasn't going to do any time. He was going to walk. He, in fact, did not walk. He, in fact, collapsed into a puddle in the middle of the courtroom. And Diddy is like, I spent over $20 million on you mofos. That's what's being reported. And where is the payback? Diddy's team said, don't worry, we got you. We are going straight to Trump. And there was this whole kerfuffle about TMZ saying he about to get pardoned, and everybody around Trump being like, and by he, pardon who? Where's Diddy name come up with it? We've been handing out a lot of pardons, but ain't none of them been to Sean Diddy Combs. Well, guess what, guys? It appears that the Roosters have come home to Nest, and we did a little digging to find out what is going on and why are there so many conflicting stories. And we think we got to the bottom of it. Now, listen, this is what the streets are saying. TMZ is going to war with the White House, saying it wasn't us. Yes, it was. People are saying that at the end of the day, Diddy might be falling prey for people that just wanted to use him for all his money. And baby, he's a transactional person, it seems, so we love to see it. Okay, what am I talking about, right? Sources are saying, if you believe them, all right? I'm just telling you what I heard, right? Sources are saying that the reason TMZ was so confident in saying that, what are you talking about? Diddy's going free. Diddy this, Diddy that. Our sources are airtight. Is because the sources that are telling TMZ that Diddy is getting off are the same sources that Diddy, through lobbyists, paid millions upon millions to even get in front of Trump. Now, when I say there are people that probably changed Diddy's name in their phone to Food Ninja because they eating off of him, it's been reported that the pardon is going to be about 10 million. People say that is a childlike fantasy. If you could buy a pardon for 10 million, you know how many people will white collar and rich people will be out right now? They said add a couple zeros on it. But remember a while back when I think it's when Nicole Westmoreland came out. This is before she was in court crying over my man. What Nicole Westmoreland did was embarrassing for the culture. But I will give her a round of applause because you know what? She is an A1 lawyer. If that was me and I had the money and the access, I would be begging her to go in front of the court and ugly cry like this is your best Tyler Perry performance and you are laying on the coffin. If you wasn't in the courtroom, I don't want to hear about it. It was embarrassing, but I said, oh, she knows how to earn her money. She is a star. Listen, that's what you pay your lawyer for. I want you doing pirouettes. I want you hooting and hollering. Embarrass yourself. Do anything you got to do to get me free. Okay, right? But remember when Nicole Westmoreland was on the steps talking about we in fact have been in touch, right? And my sources are saying that, of course, the whole legal team pretty much has, but Nicole Westmoreland was like, I'll take that smoke because Diddy has added quite a few zeros to what her normal rate is. It was even rumored that Diddy paid north of $1 million or $2 million in a retainer for Westmoreland to come on. And guess what? It was money well spent because she really did come in, show up, show out. Anyway, so remember when Westmoreland said, yo, we've been in contact. And there were all these articles, even articles in the Rolling Stone, right? And they were like, yo, they are talking about it. Okay, fine. But remember, even before the Rolling Stone articles, all this stuff came out, we were already hearing rumors about what was going on with the pardon. Now, in that article, right, written by Cheyenne Roundtree, it's a great article. I think she wrote the new article too. You need to go check it out. But in that article, there was a very, very interesting point. The point of the matter is they said that Diddy has been in high-level talks about the idea of petitioning for a pardon. However, Diddy is willing to spend whatever it takes, but the only caveat is he would only pay if the pardon was granted. And the people around were like, have you lost your mind? Like, baby, this is not, no. This is like you are going in to like one of the stores on Fulton Street. You can get actually, forget the Fulton Street, Hermes. You can get store credit, but you ain't getting your money back. No. This isn't a pay for play. You are paying for the opportunity. Now, back then, Diddy was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not paying, because his team was saying, yo, you going to get off. Then when he didn't get off and he was going through sentencing, he was like, I'm still not paying. And the team was like, good thing, because you are only going to get time served. Are you insane? Yes, book that tour. Do motivational speaking. Come on. Listen, they literally were like, you're going to get off. So Diddy was like, yo, I'm not paying that money because it's a lot of money. Forget about what the pardon costs, right? If whatever that cost is, let's talk about the multi-millions you have to spend for something at this high level to get works in. Now, I will say as a tidbit, right? Well, actually, I'll come back to that, right? So, but anyway, it seems like after he was thrown in jail, he was like, I can't do this no more. And he was like, all right, fine, I'll spend the money. I'll spend it. And the people that took the money, the streets are saying, told Diddy's team, yeah, we got it. The check clear? Yeah. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. However, the other half of the White House was like, what you talking about? What? Who? Sean Diddy Combs? Who's pardoning him? Trump who? The one married to Melania? I don't think so. They are saying that Diddy is running scared because they actually might have conned him and made a fool out of him. Now listen, it remains to be seen on whether he'll actually be pardoned. Trump does what Trump wants to do. He is very unpredictable, okay? It remains to be seen whether he'll be pardoned. I 100% believe his team is throwing this mess out here so they can see. You know, there's no public backlash. I knew that word was in my head. However, my sources are saying it's a little bit funnier than that. The people that Diddy were paying was telling Diddy that everything gonna be all right. I remember, what is it, Brad Pitt? I was watching this movie yesterday, Meet Joe Black, where he was in the emergency room. This Jamaican lady came in for granddaughter, and she was like, nah, you are deaf, leave me alone, bomba clat. And he was like, quiet yourself, everything gonna be all right, Ari. He started speaking in a Jamaican accent. When I say I slid off the couch laughing. So that's what these people that Diddy paid in the White House was telling his team, yo, don't worry, I got you. The pardon's coming. Because, baby, don't forget, it's no returns. So Diddy's team was so confident. They wanted to run a victory lap and be like, yeah, because Diddy feels furious, people are saying, that everybody is laughing at him and enjoying it and kicking on why he's down. So he couldn't hold it and he started stunting like, yeah, I'm gonna be out this weekend and everybody better run scared because your boy gonna be free. They are saying this is also why Young Miami was like, oh, I'm very, very taken. And she is proudly claiming her spot as she was never number one. Maybe number 3 in his harem. I don't know. We know Gina's probably not on his good side, I would imagine, since she's one of the reasons this investigation kicked off. She self-identified. So anyway, get back to the point. They are saying that Diddy wanted to stunt on all of us to quote unquote hoes and let us know that we wasn't stopping nothing, not his freedom, not a check. He is the master of the universe and he makes his own rules. So he was stunting and was like, yo, I'm getting out. Bet, count on it. Now, mind you, these rumors were even last week and all the Diddy's were like, Diddy gonna be free by the weekend. It's another weekend. We will see. But at the end of the day, the disparity between the White House saying no and sources with TMZ saying yes, the sources in TMZ are the sources that Diddy's team has been paying Baby Love's inheritance for that man to get free. And here's the thing. I would just like to say, I would never listen to someone that is eating off me right? Remember I said Diddy's name in their phone is Food Ninja because they eating off of him, right? I would never believe somebody that's eating off of me. However, I would actually believe the White House. Again, this will unfold, and this does remain to be seen, but you know what also I want to say? You know how that thing people say about sometimes, like, it's a gift and the curse. What made Diddy great after a while is what was his undoing. Let me just leave you with this, all right? Think about it. Diddy is cheap. He was cheap with the Cowboys and Angels because he didn't want to pay full price for the escorts. So part of the evidence they used in court to prove that he was hiring hookers is a text exchange where he was like, yo, he complaining to the Cowboys and Angels, he ain't even doing it. He didn't even finish. Why I gotta pay full price? Stop overcharging me for this. This, that, and the third. Because he was cheap and this billionaire was trying to get a discount on hookers that couldn't have been more than 3,000 or 4,000. That was proof that the government used and Judge Aaron used to prove, yeah, you're guilty of the Mann Act. But think back even more. What brought all this to frame? Cassie was suing Diddy. Now, Diddy says she was writing a book and it was extortion. The court did not find it was extortion, so But the whole point is, Cassie was writing a book, okay? And she was bringing charges again. She wanted to sue Diddy. And she was in settlement negotiations with Diddy for much of 2023 because at the end of the day, I understand why now. Yeah, she went through a lot of trauma, but she knows that man. She knows the only thing he cares about is his money, his reputation, and his lifestyle. And the food that's all he cares about. He don't care about nothing else. So she knew that the way to hurt him was to what? Take away his money, ruin his reputation. Because Cassie was like, you can do all that. I know this man. He's not, like she wrote in her letter, he's not sorry. He's not repentant, right? So she knew the way to get back at him. So she was like, all right. And she also knew that if she exposed the side of herself, there will be a million gutter snipe, dirty, disgusting people coming after her, and the dirty gutter snipe women that support them and wish they had their love, but they don't even want you. That's the gag. You only fit to be their Rottweilers and attack dogs, right? So anyway, she knew like what was in store, and she didn't want the most humiliating parts of her life that almost broke her out there for everybody to read about. So she was in negotiations. But what happened? See, Diddy was being cheap. Diddy was like, nah, what? Playing around with her, doing this, doing that, not negotiating in good faith, I would imagine. I mean, literally. And then when he said that shit on BET Awards, yeah, love, mocking her and laughing at her and letting her know, you're the same little girl I used as a rag doll. You're the same little girl. I'll never respect you. You'll never be on my level. You're always going to have to beg me for anything. When she saw that, Cassie snapped. She got Douglas Wigdor, and she was like, yo, let's do this. Let's do this. And she braced. She had Alex, her mom, Alex's mom, her dad, the whole family thing, right? And she said, let's go. Let's go. And because Diddy humiliated her, again, that cruelty and that cheapness, you knew everything she said was true. You didn't want to pay her the money. You literally wanted to be cruel and humiliate her again. So you said, all right, and you did. And because of that little, and Cassie, much love. Laura Lee Gibson, thanks for holding me down. Because he said, I want to thank you for Cassie for being in dark. Because he did that mess, Cassie made a criminal complaint with the city of New York, Southern District of New York, the feds. I was the first person on that investigation before anybody even believed it was happening. And everything that happened, we unfolded. But again, think about what happened. Diddy, his arrogance, his stupidity. His arrogance and stupidity is why this happened. And because of that, you played around with Cassie, you were being cheap, and then when you finally paid it, it was too late, and you lost everything for a girl that you thought at best could be your punching bag for the rest of her life. keeping her doped up in the corner while everybody sees you literally treating somebody like your slave. And then what happened? What happened with the Trump thing? See, the time for him to try to pay off for a pardon would have been before the charges got filed. Oh, you didn't know? Presidents can pardon people before charges get filed. They can do that easily. Easily. Look at it. It's like, listen, it's executive powers. You can do it. The part would have been to appeal for get a pardon before charges were even filed. He could have cleared him of everything. And Diddy could have paid through the nose $200-300 million easily. He could have paid through the nose and bought a pardon. See, the time for the pardon was after that apology video, but he didn't want to. Because why? All his lawyers were saying he ain't have nothing to worry about. Cassie don't got a case. He thought it would be better to fly over to New York and try to pay everybody off. Silence everybody. Obstruct justice. He thought he was bigger than the program and bigger than the game. See, the other time he could have asked for a pardon was after that Cassie the video came out and the apology. That would have been prime time too. Because even though he was disgraced, the federal government hadn't brought about sex trafficking charges and all that. See, the time to act, but he didn't want to because he was like, I'll beat this. This is just some PR stuff. He got his PR to hire every dirtbag on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere else, right? Half of these people probably doing it for free. They just happy to be alone. They could never get into a Sean John party. So at least they can be like, lick his feet now that he's down, right? All right. The time to ask for a pardon would have been after the charges were filed and after that raid on the house, but he ain't want to because he still thought he could beat it. And now finally that all his options are out and he's lost his credibility and he's lost his clout with anybody and again, this is all my opinion, with anybody of any type of integrity, any type of class, any type of elegance, any type of money, any type of intelligence, any type of moral fiber. Now that he lost all that, now he wants to take his money and beg for a pardon. But see, now the reports are true. You're useless to Trump. What's he going to do with you? Disgraced. Maybe Trump is unpredictable. He feels like just being nice one day. But you know how that is. People, when you got people and you can toy with them, Diddy knows what that feels like, right? Remember when you was toying with all those people? Diddy? Remember when you was toying with everybody? You thought everybody was just a toy, a pawn to be played with? Well, guess what? Trump's looking at you the same way. And guess what? Even if you do get pardoned, which people are saying it's not going to happen, you're going to be freaking off for the rest of your life because Trump is going to have a leash around your neck. And every single time you step out of line, he's going to yank it. Because please believe, if he brought charges against James Comey, Marine Comey, well, I don't know if he did Marine Comey, Letitia James, please believe, you going to be shucking and jiving, doing the thing for as long as he wants you to. But I guess anything's better than being in that MDC, right? Right. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think of the comments. I think we got to the bottom of this mystery. Still doing more research, but I'll hit y'all back later. Okay, bye.